So what would be beneficial to you today, irons or driver?
Driver, probably. Right, and then as soon as I get on the golf course, they're all over the place. So I've got mates telling me one thing, then like, look on YouTube and it's completely different. These can go anywhere.
What I would look to change today is, number one, is for the driver, you don't turn your shoulders enough. There's a lot of arms, but not a lot of shoulders. And then as the shoulders didn't turn, if you look at your right knee, right hip, it's got a little bit too much drift across. So ultimately, the driver swing and the iron swing are different. The biggest difference, obviously, the length of the club and the loft. You basically need more time to get that club squared up. So I would like to see a little bit more turn and allowing that club to release down through impact. If we said you can't move the shoulder, which you do, but if we said you can't, then this arm basically has to start to bend. It can't stay straight. Whereas if we are able to move the shoulder, that allows you to keep that arm wider. Now it does bend at some point, but we know that how much the shoulders turn is going to directly influence what this arm does. Some of the best drivers of the golf ball are pretty wide. Bryson, Rory, Tiger, always pretty wide here. So because these shoulders don't turn as much as I would like them to, it forces your arms to get a little involved. Hips go a little bit this way, and then it's a little bit drivey with the hands. So we've got to get you going bigger turn with the body, wider with the right arm, and then allowing that club head to release a little bit more through impact rather than it being driven forwards.
Okay.
Now if we want these to turn more, you can only do that if these turn more. And you can only turn these more if these turn more. And I want you to think of right shoulder. I want you to think of keeping some more length in this right arm. So keep looking at the ball, keep looking at the ball, keep looking at the ball, keep looking at the ball. Excellent. Good. Turn these more. Excellent. And then to complete, you're going to keep turning, keep turning, keep turning, keep turning. Get the right arm a little lower if you can. Beautiful, there you go. Good. So that right arm is probably still as bent as we saw it on camera, but it bent later. And your shoulder is a lot more turned. You've had to turn here more, and you've had to allow your lower body to work. Let's do that again. So keep looking at the ball. Much more turn here. Beautiful. That's much, much better. Right arm is in a much, much better position there. And then we keep turning up to the top and let the arms up. Beautiful. Good.
So you're almost like looking at it right over your shoulder.
Have to. Everyone's goal swing is made up of two main components. If I did them separately, we start to be able to see what they're like. So in the goal swing, there is going to be some movement to my arms. There. If I do that on its own, that looks strange. But in my backswing, I've got movement to the arms like that, but I've also got turn. And when I put them both together, we get a pretty good backswing position. At the moment, I'd categorise your driver swing as just too much of the arms, not enough of the body. And I'm not suggesting you're doing this, but it almost looks as if you're trying to restrict the body. And as you swing, it's almost forcing the body to sort of drift a little bit that way. So it looks very much this way. And I want you to really think more about what the inside is doing, about taking your body from this starting position and just allowing it to have this really natural kind of turn. I want you to go what you feel is really wide with the arms. The only way I can do that is turn, but just allow that whole body to feel like it's turning a little bit more freely. And then what we'll do, once we've got that position, we'll just start to swing through with a T in the way. Good, and again. Does that feel like it's less controllable because you're moving more?
Maybe, yeah. Maybe that's why I was going quite shallow before.
Well, that was what I was thinking. Sometimes if you go further, it can feel like there's more moving parts. It's hard to get back to. It's hard to get back to impact. So I wasn't sure whether the swinger got a bit shorter. So I'm not really looking at the distance. I'm just looking at the movement at this stage. So just go ahead and just clip a few. Just go big, big turn. Right arm's going to feel nice and wide. Excellent. Same thing. I'm just going to put this here to stop you, just to stop you drifting a little bit too much. So if you make a backswing and stop, once you've made your backswing, that will move out the way. So it's only there for the backswing. So you can still do the same, still go all the way through. I think you might need a fractionally higher tee now as well. The way you were swinging it, you were hitting almost down on it.
Yeah.
Which means that a lower tee will work better. If we start to hit more up on it, then you have to then change the tee height. So we'll probably change that a little bit. It doesn't need to be much higher, but you're hitting up on it now and it's harder to get the contact because the tee's a bit lower.
At least they're going that way consistently.
Well, this is, so what we're doing here, this is good because you're now hitting up on the ball, which is what I wanted. So you're starting to get your attack angle where it needs to be for a driver. You're starting to now see more of what you were with the irons.
Yeah.
Which is that face gets a little bit closed and it goes left. So hit one more and then we'll tweak that a little bit. So, I mean, we'll cover that at the end, but that tee height is basically going to be where you need to live now if you're going to swing like that, because as we've got you more turn, the lowest part of your swing is happening before the ball, which means the club is now rising. And if the ball's teed low, you just go over the top of the ball, really. So that contact point has got much better. So if you just relax this trail hand, just the right hand, okay, and I want you to go a little bit more in the fingers and a little bit more on top. There we go. That's probably a fraction too much. So we're just going to go, there we go. So that's going to feel as if the whole right hand has got more on top.
Yeah. Yeah,
Now,
rather than here.
Correct. So this is now more neutral.
Yeah.
You should have the thumb sat to the left-hand side of the grip, which it is. What we've got to try and guard against, which has happened already, is that as that right hand goes a little bit more on top, which is a neutral grip which should help with the face, it throws this shoulder too far forward. Yeah. So that's correct, yeah. So there we go. So the easiest way to fix the club or change the club face is to place your hands somewhere different. Getting closer. Starting to see more height and less curve. Different. So this is neutral.
Yeah.
If you pointed that club down, that would be closed. So how would you twist that club and point it down?
Right.
Good. And how would you do the opposite? Good. So what have you done that with? Feet, knees,
Grip.
hands. So your hands are still getting overactive. So what I want you to do now is we're going to tap into your skill. Loads of skill. I really simply want you to take a setup, make that backswing that we're thinking about,
Yeah.
and then literally with your hands and arms, can you hit me a shot where you swing through and have the club pointing this way? So you're not going to obviously change your hands through the swing, but you're going to be turning your hand, you're going to be putting your hands in such a way that it's this way.
Yeah.
Because at the moment, it's coming in and your hands are overactive. Beautiful, good. And as you come through, turn the body through, and just use your hands and say, can you? And I'm not asking you for straight here.
Yeah.
I'm just asking for the opposite of what you're doing. Because if we can do the opposite, we can find a bit in between.
Yeah.
It's going to feel strange, but see if you can do it. Closer. In terms of keeping it simple, grip is weaker, turn is freer, and then just be aware of club face. So just hit me a couple now where you just try and hit me 3 in a row that go right of target.
Go right.
Just right. So don't really care how far right, just right. So grip is good. Once that's done, you can go a little bit more on top. There you go. Out your mind. So free turn, hit the ball right. And that's still left. So that tells us that we're a little bit of a mismatch between what you feel is happening and what is actually happening. Okay. So again, good grip, more turn, leave the club face open.
Okay, straight now.
Okay, straight now, yeah. So you can do it, it's in there. You've got the ability, which is great, to control the face.
It's just that tiny little...
You just haven't probably done the right practice to get that.
Yeah.
Because, you know, to be able to pick up the game and what you do naturally be correct, that's a bonus. Most of the time, what people do naturally is leave the face open. You're in the case of what you do naturally is closing the face. So that club face was 0, but that to you feels like it's right. And you can do this with the irons. You know, this would help with your irons as well. Okay, so good setup, grip is excellent. So more turn and just leave the club face open. Okay. Oh, there you go. There's no reason why you can't do that
No.
every time.